Video number 2. Alright, for this one, we're gonna be talking about dating in the big 2-6. You know what I'm saying? We 20 days in. So this is really inspired by, the years leading up to 2026, but I feel like it's, still currently applicable as somebody who still lives in society and whatnot. This is what dating has been like. For me, you ain't gotta agree. You know what I'm saying? If you don't agree, opinions is like assholes. Everybody got one. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep your asshole to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your moms. But yeah, I'm gonna start by talking about gender roles and the different dynamics that I think each of them provides to different types of relationships, and ultimately what dating is. Talking about the game. What the game really is. We're gonna start with male gender roles. This one's particularly funny because at the end of 2025, there was this new trend popping up. Performative males, reading a book about giving head to women on the subway in New York or whatever the fuck. It's damn near a slur thrown around now. If somebody does something, and it could be completely in line with their person, but people on the internet are gonna call it performative because it's not, or it could be seen as a way to try to coax interest out of whatever other gender role. It's like the gooner bait incel woman. You know what I'm saying? Not an incel, she's not an incel, but she baits incels. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I feel like it does. Overly sexualized, for whatever reason, hyper childish. That's very fucking strange to me, but just the aspect of the internet, I guess. Who fucking knows? But whatever. Performative. We can all be performative together. Let me perform. I mean, that's the thing. Society as it is this big ass charade, bro. We may try to chalk it up using, what's that fucking shit? What's that study? I gotta fucking it. Sociology. There we go. Sociology. If you're, you could chop it up and make everything factual, which I think we should do. I think we should go through, what really is and what really isn't, because a lot of this shit is man-made. That's why I have male gender roles. I feel like as a male, you can fall into female gender roles, especially if you're gay. You know what I'm saying? They tend to be, and again, this might sound crazy. Cis white man, probably not the best to be speaking on this, but they the performance of a gay man is not the same as the performance of a cis straight man, and see a cis straight man is going to look at a gay man and probably see him as performative, at the bare minimum. There's a lot of built up hate and animosity in our current society, and I'm not sowing hate or animosity. I'm just saying those gender roles they're just different, and you can subscribe to whichever one you want, because at the end of the day, it is all a charade, whatever you want to call that shit, man. Male, female, be who you are, bro. It's about what's in here, bro. I mean, sure, we can go through all the different times. Well, there was a time when what is the fucking the psychology book, the DSM or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I might be butchering that, but you know what I'm saying. When it's called gender dysphoria. Transgenderism is gender dysphoria. I mean, yeah, but bro, you're choosing to buy this big ass truck, you know what I'm saying, to commute to your office job. You're not a man, you're a bitch in a big ass truck who's probably gonna take somebody's life who can afford a nice car, you know what I'm saying? So they hit you in your big ass truck and you fucking murder them. That's just logic, physics, all of that shit. You driving a, say, K-truck versus fucking American truck. K-truck not gonna survive that one, you know what I'm saying? And your male gender role is what's making you buy that big ass truck, which, by the way, you don't use. You don't take it off-roading. You don't drive it up the mountain. You don't fish. You don't haul shit. You're a useless piece of shit. So if you're gonna hold that opinion, you know what I'm saying, whatever, kill yourself. Don't kill yourself, please. I take it back. I'm gonna bleep that in the edit. But that segues nicely into what I was talking about and the providerism and masculinity. Masculinity is not something so natural and defined that we can look at, like, like when I say natural, I don't mean like a part of you, like because I think we are natural beings as carbon-based life forms. We've naturally spawned to get here. Like, you can argue, nature has manufactured us. That's what I'm gonna say is natural. The providerism in the past, in any example of like wilderness, both parties who create the babies, I'm not even gonna say parents, because you talk about parents being providers and then people get up in arms. You're a provider no matter what spawns of you. If you draw something, you've provided that drawing. You know what I'm saying? That's what you provide. And masculinity does not, require you to provide anything. And it doesn't require really anything. We can go into a deep dive on masculinity, but at the end of the day, it's who's playing what role, and how confident they are in playing that role. And that's what I think masculinity is. It's how confident they are in playing that role. Like I said, I'm a cis straight man. I'm just me. I'm a dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm confident in that. And a lot of people don't really understand that, and they see like certain actions I take as emasculating. You know what I'm saying? So what, I'm a little tapped into my feminine side, bro. I still fuck your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then we're gonna talk about society's expectation. This one's hard to talk about, especially because I don't know. I can't speak for all of society, but I can speak for what I've been told. You know what I'm saying? I've been told time and time again that, like I was saying earlier, the males are the providers. Boys don't cry, that type of shit. At the end of the day, bro, you know what I'm saying? Fuck what they expect, bro. Do what you like. It's our little blip, our little experience, our little time to be here. If you're sitting here worried about what other motherfuckers is thinking about you, you're gonna sit there. What Kanye said, you're gonna if every time you get asked a question, you try to give the right answer. Your life is a test. Your life don't gotta be a test. It's supposed to be a deep breath, not a gasp for air. You know what I'm saying? And certain people's lives are gasps. There's no shade in that. There's no, disrespect in that. Do you, bro? But I guess, like, I've touched on all the points, but haven't gone into detail. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in male gender roles. Female gender roles, this is particularly important, because not because I'm like super, in tune with my female side or whatever. I want to say I can't generalize, but for the sake of the video, this is a perspective. You know what I'm saying? What women I've interacted with, and women I've heard of, like, internet women. And I'm gonna come out, be completely transparent with y'all. There have been times in my life, as a man, where I've used the B word, man. Of course I have. You know what I'm saying? I'm always like, especially on the game, man, you don't even know. And, coming into real life, that's way different. You should never refer to women as bitches. That's just it's not a healthy thing. Bitches, hoes, females even is a little disrespectful. Just talk to them like they're people, bro. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, just be a person to a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to sit here and classify and speak on behalf of people you're not a part of. And that's kind of what I want to get at with this gender roles thing. Like, there is like this nurturing, motherly kind of thing, traditional wife kind of thing going on. I don't think that's a real thing. Feminism is taught that, like, it's suppressed and women are quiet and dainty. A lot of the women I've met have, like, been strong-souled, strong-spirited. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got a lot going for them, and that's attractive. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's femininity. You know what I'm saying? to me, when masculinity is me playing my role, femininity is them playing their role, and how much they like playing their role. And figuring out your role is the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? These roles that I have, tentatively written, they're not something that you must fall into no matter what. You're at the end of the day, you're you. You know what I'm saying? And society has to make way for you. And if we live in such a rigid society that doesn't allow for these different groups of people, then perhaps, I'm not suggesting revolution here. You know what I'm saying? But perhaps that society we live in is flawed. You know what I'm saying? Perhaps it's built for the white man. Perhaps it's built for the rich white man. The person, we gonna keep it at that. You know what I'm saying? But I've kind of already talked about women I've met. But I've heard of is a different thing. You get on Instagram, you get on TikTok, and you see, what's her name? Brittany Renner. Is she there? Is she married to Jalen Green or what? I don't know who she is. You know what I'm saying? And there's a different girl who did the same shit to PJ Washington. When he was in college, he got her pregnant. And she files for divorce. I think PJ's married now because after he left the Hornets, I broke my heart, man. Real Charlotte native here, but what I'm saying, PJ, bro, glad to see you shining, bro. Probably don't mean shit from me, just a white dude on the internet, but bro, big up to you, bro. Handled your business, and that was a difficult situation to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? This woman, is leveraging your money and your worth, by extent your worth. You know what I'm saying? Your money, because that's what a capitalistic society does. It reduces the value of the person down to how much they can provide. And that's why I said the provider portion of masculinity is kind of like a buffoonery, a bullshittery, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, those type of women who do those types of things are only women I've heard of, you know what I'm saying? And that idea that one bad apple ruins the whole bunch, yeah, bro. I mean, I've dated a few quote unquote bad apples. And I don't, when I say bitch in this term, I do not mean, derogatorily, but bad bitches, you know what I'm saying? Bad bitches, they look good. And, they gonna have you thinking, yo, you big shit. Whole time, you know what I'm saying? You on the roster or you something. It's just bro, it's not good, you know what I'm saying? And that's part of the game. That's and having game. A bad bitch, she got game. You know what I'm saying? She gets cold approached. She, she has different social media, different people on social media texting her, telling her she bad. So she knows, you know what I'm saying? She probably, and even if she don't, she get that in real life. Because that's what the game is, you know what I'm saying? The game is men chasing, you know what I'm saying? Or, and I'm not saying it's strictly that. I'm saying that's what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Again, why am I explaining myself to you? You know what I'm saying? It's my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. But, bro, game as it is, it just because that's what it is. It is a game, you know what I'm saying? But it reduces interaction and socialization down to, something completely unhealthy. And cold approaches, them meta glasses, walking up to, being 6'10", walking up to quote unquote bad bitches. It's gonna work, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it's not gonna work, but are you gonna find a wife doing that, bro? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna find somebody who genuinely gives a fuck about you? Or are you gonna find somebody who's a little loose and wanna, throw slop at you? In which case, you know what I'm saying? If that's your goal, cool, you know what I'm saying? Get your Uchi, get your dick and leave. But that's not what the game is. The game is how much can I exploit out of this person? How much can I transactionalize this relationship? And that's so unhealthy. It's so bad for not only you, but the person you're doing it to and with. Just really bad things. And that's kind of the segue into the different types of relationships. A lot of the relationships I've seen and been a part of are formed out of different groups of things. You know what I'm saying? I listed 4 of them. I said lust, attraction, desire, in parentheses, longing. You know what I'm saying? You really want a relationship. You love the idea of a relationship, and boredom. A relationship born out of lust is going to fall apart when you stop lusting for that person. Once that person stops being as attractive as they were the first day you seen them, you know what I'm saying? Once you find somebody else you lust over more, you know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of relationships I've seen are. Attraction, I want to say, is the healthy alternative. Is like, yo, like, you're attractive. I want to speak to you. I want to get to know you. I want to absorb, you know what I'm saying, what you are, and I want to, grow with that. That's at least how I view it, and that's kind of how I try to approach my relationships. But the desire and longing is, like I was saying, like, it's very easy to like confuse that with the attraction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been so single for so long. Like, man, like, having a relationship would be fine. And I be thinking like that too sometimes. I can't lie. You know, I'm 2 years out of a relationship, and I'm like, damn, like, yo, I miss my girl. I miss my bitch. I miss this. I miss that. Like, whole time I don't. You know what I'm saying? It goes into this last one. I'm bored. You know, it's the boredom. The relationship spawned out of boredom. And once you lose interest in that person, it's done. And I've dated women like that who were like, they're dating out of boredom. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's super cool. No, it's like, I lied. That shit is not cool. You know what I'm saying? Just like, communicate, bro. Just tell me so I can, you know what I'm saying, get the fuck out of here. Next point, what the internet says about dating in 2026. You know, refer it back to the point. Main point, get the fuck off the internet, bro. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is dead anyways, bro. And second point, the reason I say this is because the internet is where bigotry goes to grow. You know what I'm saying? It's just an echo chamber, and whatever your phone hears you say, type, you gonna see. You know what I'm saying? The slut shaming, the unhealthy perspectives, the traditionalism. It's like this cohesive society thing I was talking about with the gender roles. It's just like, a lot of people gonna get, it's like like I was saying when I first opened this shit, you know, opinions are like assholes, and everybody got one. On the internet, everybody is spreading their asshole, bro. I seen it one shorty, she talk about how, forget what her name is. She's very pretty, very beautiful, black woman, you know what I'm saying? I'm not shooting my shot, but I would, you know what I'm saying? She live in New York. I don't know her name. I'll try and put it in a video if I think about it. But you know what I'm saying? All she talk about is we need to talk about, well, not all she talking about, but she talking about, fuck, yo, I'm stammering, stuttering. I just thought about this girl. Like, what is wrong with me? But she has this one video where she talks about everybody should talk about their assholes more. I'm like, okay, but you know, you kind of listen, hear her out, and it kind of makes sense. I would have to sit down and speak with this woman to like completely understand. But you know what I'm saying? It's just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get on the internet and I'm gonna say dumb shit, and that's what people do. You know what I'm saying? I have in parentheses though, like, the modern dating scene on the internet is everything that is wrong with capitalism. You know, duh. You know what I'm saying? I'm just screaming into the void. Literally wrote that out. But you know what I'm saying? I guess the part of the video I've been waiting for, what I have experienced personally. My first point is dorks. Oh my goodness, I don't know what it is about my being that attracts dorks. And by dorks I do not mean like dweeb sickles, geeks, nerds. No, I mean like people who are just like morally flimsy. You know what I'm saying? They're just like they're not really quite people yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're a person. Don't get me wrong. You definitely breathing air and, you know, shitting every day. But, you know, past that, I can't quite quantify you as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't have much personality. They don't really do much. And that's not shade to them. You know what I'm saying? When your cup is empty, that means you can fill it with whatever. Take it how you want it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Beauty and what it means to be beautiful. Like I was saying, that girl on the internet who I found attractive, yeah, she's beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Surface level, I don't know anything about it, you know what I'm saying? But the most important thing, and it's a quote I've heard, but you know, the most important thing I've heard is, you know, not all beautiful people are kind, but all kind people are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, be kind, bro. Don't be nice. Be kind. You know what I'm saying? Cheating. I've been cheated on a whole bunch. Ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. Like, I guess my dick weak or whatever. I don't fucking know. But, you know, again, this was like, it's been 2 years, but you know what I'm saying? Bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know why I be getting cheated on, honestly. I think it's, like I was saying, these people are empty. You know what I'm saying? And I'm choosing the wrong people. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm taking complete accountability and blame for this, but like, dude, bro, like, NT doing sucks. It's part of like emotional maturity. Like, a lot of these people are emotionally stunted, and like, I want to say like intelligently, fuck, dude. Intellectually stunted too. Like, bro, holy shit, Gavin, like, put it together, bro. But like, a lot of these women, like, I'm not, you know, I just said take accountability. A lot of these women don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these men don't know how to do that. A lot of these people in general, you know what I'm saying, will sit here and play in your face, and then tell you like directly that I'm not playing in your face. The whole time it's a lie. There's like this level, like, you can learn a person and learn when, you know, something is being withheld or there's a half truth being told. Especially when you sleeping next to the person, it's just obvious, you know what I'm saying? And some people think they slicker than they actually are. And I'm not saying I got a woman's intuition or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? You know, just be real, be you, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these people haven't figured out how to do that yet. But a critique of modern dating, in my own opinion, you know, modern dating is pointless. I don't think, you know, marriage as an end goal or as an institution is worthy of dating. You know what I'm saying? The struggle that is dating. I'm not saying dating is so negative or whatever. I'm just saying dating is just ass. You know, who wants to sit here and ask the same question to a new girl? You know, ask the same question to a new guy. That's not fun. You know what I'm saying? That's not fun at all. Especially when you just got close with the last one, but then they went up and cheated on you, or, you know, their life's going a different direction. You know what I'm saying? It's a little but a compliment for modern dating. Modern dating does these things well. I had this whole plan. I was gonna say nothing and close the video, but honestly, like, I don't know. I would say like we're more connected than we ever have been. But at the same time, we're also the most divided we've ever been. And it's not us. It's not the people who are dating. It's not the people who are working. It's not the people who, you know, it's not that. It's the people who pull the strings. They don't want collectivism by any means. They don't want people to feel like, oh yeah, we are very similar. They don't want you to think that. But perhaps that is my own biases and bigotry, you know, being perverse in my writing, in my thought process. But you know what I'm saying? That basically dating in the bed 2-6. Let me know how we think and love with dating. So I'm some